Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another episode of the Frail Conversations. Today, I'm going to be talking about, I guess, a very touchy subject, but it's a very necessary subject because I get that at times they say shit like, if it don't apply, let it fly. I myself say that shit sometimes. You dig what I'm saying? However, you cannot walk into a room and say, yo, I'll whoop everybody ass in here, and then start swinging on motherfuckers, and then get upset when the motherfuckers swing back. All right? And that's why I only want to have this conversation once, because I get it. People say things like, well, if you're solid in your masculinity, it should be no problem. If you're this, you're that, it should be no problem. And those are slight scapegoats and passive aggressive expressions for you to say and do what you want to do disrespectfully to people. And that shit's not cool. That's just not cool. So I wanted to speak on this because I get tired of having this conversation. I mean, I get tired of hearing this on a regular basis. And then it's just like, yo, bro, like and then they're like, well, it's not all of y'all, but people generalize so fucking much that you can't say shit. But, like I said, it comes a point where you're going to keep throwing a punch at somebody and they got to hit you back. Like, they got to hit you back to let you know, yo, like I always say, they say, show people that you're the bigger person. Like, sometimes you got to remind them motherfuckers that you're the bigger person and why you're the bigger person, and to fall the fuck back. You feel what I'm saying? And the situation at hand that I want to talk about is this whole cis straight men complex constant thing that is going on, where they say cis or straight black men are the oppressors of the black community. They're like the white people of the black community. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, certain situations you can't say, if this don't apply, let it fly. Because we understand that there is some kind of, we could say it's an agenda. There's some, whatever it is, there is a strong point to demonize a straight black man. There is a strong point to make it seem like something is wrong with a straight black man. And as a straight black man, you're not going to keep throwing punches and think you're not going to get punched back. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when you're saying this shit without fully understanding the dynamic of what you're saying is the oppressor. What you're saying is the full oppression. Because now that shit creates the psychology within the mind of women. That creates the psychology within the mind of people, that when they see a straight black man like myself who's going to stand on certain things and certain principles, automatically it's going to go into that. This shit is repetitive. You feel what I'm saying? And I get it. If you have a problem with straight black men for whatever reason, because you feel like certain things can't be generalized. You feel what I'm saying? Certain things just shouldn't be generalized. I myself do not generalize, straight black women who do certain shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because I attribute it to that black woman and that experience. But when you start to create this dynamic that it's all in a group, you feel what I'm saying? Everybody views everybody the same way. You feel what I'm saying? So now, as a straight black man, you feel what I'm saying? I'm going to speak on the cis shit. I'm only going to do this shit one time. And I'm going to speak on it from what you understand. I'm going to speak on it from what you don't understand. And I'm going to speak on it from who really is the oppressor in the situation. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I get it. People are going to argue, but I got to give my point. You feel what I'm saying? I got to give my point, because it's one thing when, it's one thing when you're not fitting into that mold. Cool. But at some point, that if it don't apply, let it fly. Like, it don't work forever. It don't work forever. Sometimes you got to address some shit. Sometimes you got to say, yes, this doesn't apply to me, but I understand that you keep bringing this shit up. You feel what I'm saying? And I have to explain to you why this doesn't apply to me. Now, this isn't a conversation where I'm going to be like, some men, not all. No, I'm going to get directly to the core of what the fuck I'm talking about, because it's upsetting to know that going into situations, I gotta have the stigma. Going into situations like this wall is already up. As soon as I decide to talk about masculinity with something, in any instantly, oh, here comes the cis straight black man. The fuck does that mean? You feel me? At first, it didn't really bother me. Because I didn't give a fuck. Because I'm like, all right, I already understand, and I well know that you don't even understand masculinity the way that I do. I know it. You feel what I'm saying? But then it started to get like where motherfuckers would really shut down off rip, waste my time with these conversations and shit just to argue and then look stupid. They get made to look stupid and shit. And then they're like, wow, I didn't know there was this side to masculinity. I didn't know how, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's been happening. And I've been like, understanding of people. I've been patient with people. I've been like, yo, calm down. But now this whole cis straight black men are the oppressors of the black community. Like, this shit is not cool anymore. This shit is not like, yo, I can't ride with that. I can't ride with that. I can't co-sign that. Now, this is not gonna be me in a emotional state. I know I got triggered in the beginning, but this is not gonna be me in an emotional state. I'm going to break down who that cis straight black man is and what they're talking about and how this applies to oppression. This is gonna be very ugly on any regard. But when we break this shit down, by the end of this, you'll know who is actually the oppressor, why they're the oppressor. And you'll know, if you've read So Frail, you'll know the deeper aspects of the parts of, it's in the chapter of misogyny on So Frail 1, the parts of it being about how men only like vagina. Not women, but they like vagina. All of that is going to tie into this, and you're going to see what's up. But before we get heavily into that, I'm going to take a quick break. But before that, as always, follow me on Instagram at _just_seen_. Be sure to visit my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things Just Seen. Be sure to follow all of my social media outlets. Just Seen Podcast, the Just Seen Podcast, Mastering the Market, Hitting It Raw, Just Seen's merch, and So Frail Books to get all things that are me for the periodic drops of everything if you do not have them. I appreciate everybody who tips, sponsors, or donates to the podcast. If you would like to tip, sponsor, and donate to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the description in your podcast bio. Cash App and PayPal is fine. And yeah, that's about it. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to come back in the So Frail Conversations, the cis straight man. Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. Without further ado, let's get started into this. So first off, let's address this cis man shit. So apparently, a cis man is a non-trans man. All right. So the cis man is a man who identifies as straight. Okay, a heterosexual man, apparently. So when it comes to the cis man, like now we have been given the title. Like we're no longer straight men, we're cis men, because it kind of goes into, the transgender dynamic. It kind of makes sense why they would say that shit too. Like if you, from a scientific perspective, like, biologically, when I was in organic chemistry, if we had something that was on opposite sides, some shit, or you have like trans movement of this, or you have a cis movement. I get it. It was, it's a cool concept. But the dynamic of it all is that this the cis man or the cis straight man being the oppressor of the black community has a deeper aspect to it. Because conditionally, this is going to be very, very touchy, but conditionally, we were never raised, or we were never, there's never been a standard for the template. Well, okay, there has been a standard, there has been a template. However, there's never been a truly defined expression of what a heterosexual man is, right? Because the heterosexual man is, as you know, they're labeling it cis or he's straight. You feel what I'm saying? But the difference of this capacity is that the heterosexual man actually likes women. Okay? The heterosexual man likes women. All right, I'm gonna say that one more time before I continue. The heterosexual man likes women. Okay? Now, the cis man, the straight man that they're trying to, and this is why I'm using these words specifically, because the cis man and the straight man that they're saying is the oppressor of the community is a man who likes vagina, right? Notice he's not necessarily a heterosexual man, but he's a man who likes vagina. Since our inceptions as children, we have been conditioned and bred to be, and this is going to get ugly right here, we have been bred to be homosexual men. Now, homosexual means same sex, right? Or same sexual orientation. I guess that's what we're going to call it, right? But the root word and the key word in homo is same. Homosexual is that homo means same. Of course, hetero means different, right? But homo means the same. Okay? So when we look at what homosexual is, see, a lot of times we tie homosexual to sex. Therefore, we have to, we by default try to tie heterosexual to sex, but we tie homosexual to sex. I mean, that's why you have sexual in it. Go figure. But the premise of what this represented is that someone isn't homosexual until they cross the line of sexually involving themselves with somebody of the same sex. No, that's not what makes you homosexual. That's not what makes you homosexual. Just like having sex with someone of the opposite sex is not what makes you heterosexual. You dig what I'm saying? But because we have been reduced down solely to the carnal aspects of sexual energies being what connects us with the human being, that is how we define where we stand. So when we look at the homosexual, the first thing that is triggered when you say someone is a homosexual, you assume they're fucking somebody of the same sex. Logically. You dig what I'm saying? But here's where that problem comes in. Because homosexual activities aren't just sexual. The sexual part is put in there. So when you see the other homo activities, whatever that suffix is to follow, when you see those other activities, you don't pay attention to the fact that you have been bred to be homosexual all your life. You dig what I'm saying? You have been bred to be homosexual all your life. You feel me? And what we are deeming and what we are trying to view as a straight man, and then in addition to that, saying that the straight man is the oppressor of the community. No, it's not the straight man. It's the homosexual man who likes vagina, who becomes the oppressor of that community. Okay? So when I say homosexual, right, understand you have to step back out of sex and put everything into context. Everything we do and everything we have been taught as men is to be homosexual, whether we're willing to accept that shit or not. Feel me? This is the problem that I have when they say shit like this of, you know, the cis man, the straight man. No. Let's keep it a buck. The straight man, the true heterosexual man has no problem with women. There's no, they have no problem with women. The homosexual man has the problem with the woman. You feel what I'm saying? But there's two dynamics to the homosexual. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm going to get into that. But I need it to be understood that we were bred to be homosexuals from the beginning. You dig? When we play sports, all of the sports aren't co-ed. Nothing that we do is co-ed. The funny thing about co-ed is co-education. Like they took the education and just put it to ed. So when we think co-ed, we just automatically don't even pay attention to the part that it's supposed to be intertwined for a learning experience. We just think it just means boys and girls welcome together. It's supposed to be a learning experience, co-education, co-ed. It's supposed to be learning. We don't do co-ed shit until we get to college. But yet all of our lives we have been taught that, we have been put into doing homosexual shit, right? But we just never crossed the line because we knew that we still liked vagina. That's what it was. We've always been taught to be homosexuals, but but the defining factor to what quote unquote makes you gay and what makes you not gay is the fact that are you the homosexual who likes vagina or are you the homosexual who doesn't? You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, this is going to get very touchy and it's going to get very ugly. You feel what I'm saying? Because we got to deal with this reality. So the homosexual activities that we all have, we've been playing sports since we were kids. Some of us, everything that we do is about the same sex. So right now we have to rewrite the understanding of what a homosexual is. You feel me? And understand that you could be homosexual and still like vagina. You can be a homosexual and still be plowing out a woman right motherfucking now. You feel me? That's why if you ever call a dude gay, or if you ever call a dude a homosexual, he will say some shit like, yo, nigga, I ain't fucking no nigga, I ain't this like that, nigga, I'm not gay. Right? But everything you do says homosexual behavior. You feel me? We play sports, that's homosexual behavior. I get it. You don't want it to seem like it is. But it kind of is. It is actually. You feel me? It's homosexual in the strength that everything is about the same sex. You feel me? And it makes sense that way because, if you played co-ed basketball, it wouldn't be fair after the third grade. You feel me? If you play co-ed, any kind of sport that's co-ed, it's like it gets to a point where it's no longer fair. If we put both, genders into the game, it's not going to be fair. It just can't be. So I get that in that regard for the gladiator aspect, the competitive nature. That is the homosexual part. You feel what I'm saying? So since kids, we've been bred for this. Then not only that, now we're going to get into the sick part. Because we got boys and shit who are being coached by who? You know how many coaches have sick psychotic issues with the motherfucking boys that they coaching? You feel what I'm saying? Just to be around these little boys. Where does that shit come from? You feel what I'm saying? There is some kind of fucked up conundrum within that. So this is the part that I'm getting to. Because when you look at this homosexual activity, everybody, rappers have been saying this shit for a long time. Pause. No homo. No. You know why? I think it's subconscious why that had to come out and you had to say no homo. Because we understand that, we homosexuals. But we just have not crossed the line to the point that makes us gay. You dig what I'm saying? We haven't crossed the line to the point that makes us gay. And what keeps us, quote unquote, straight is that we have sex with women. We fucking vagina. Right? But we're not, and that's where it gets to where it's, that's how you know that the sex that we have been conditioned to have, the sex that we have been taught to have is masturbation with a body, because you can get it from anywhere. I've had conversations with dudes, on some, I gotta watch you, bro. Like, you feel me? I gotta watch you, bro. Motherfucker was, said, head is head. If a motherfucker ever say head is head or pussy is pussy, there's something there. For one, because it's not. And for two, it's, you feel me? The sexual experience is supposed to be the experience that you have with that person and connecting with them. But if all you can see is the vagina or the mouth or the ass, it's like, you just trying to figure out which hole you can put it in. You'll put it in any hole. If that motherfucker will put it in any hole if they're not careful. So what is it that we're conditioned to do? And this is why the problem comes in. And this is why the problem comes in for me. Because when people say, the cis straight man is the man who doesn't The cis straight man is the man who's the, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's fitting to call them cis men, to use the cis men thing if you're going to use the trans, because both of these types of men are homosexuals. They're the homosexual men. However, the quote unquote gay man is the man who says, I don't like vagina. I don't like it. You feel me? And the quote unquote, the straight man and the societal straight man is the homosexual who does like vagina. And that's what keeps them from being in that space. But like I said, all of our lives, we have been kept away from women. And like I said, it not only goes back to school, it goes to churches too. It goes to all of the things. Rather than teaching kids, because first off, we over-sexualize children as a jump. So we kind of create the homosexuals we bitch about, especially in churches, schools and shit. We psychologically create the homosexuals that we bitch about. You feel what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers can say, I've been gay all my life, whatever the case may be. And you may think that's right, but you have not been gay all your life. You can't be, because you don't have memory banks until you're about 2 years old. So you may have been gay. I won't deny that. You may have been gay for as long as you can remember, but you haven't been gay all your life. You couldn't, because your memory has to be kicked in order for you to acknowledge something continually, that this is who you are, and reaffirm it. If you don't remember anything up until you're about a year and a half, maybe 2 years old, that's when you have the association to identify. That's when you're able to say, okay, I'm gay. But then again, what was it that caused that? You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, I watch how we do in schools. I watch how we do in church. Churches is kind of where it starts, if you ask me. But I watch how we separate, as opposed to co-educating the children at the various levels. We just separate them. Boys stay away from girls. Girls stay away from boys. Boys stay away from girls. Girls stay away from boys. Boys stay away from girls. Girls stay away from boys. So then when a boy stays with a boy and a girl stays with a girl, who's really to be upset at that point? You've affirmed this over this child, and you spoke this over their life for so much. So now we understand that boys and girls are supposed to stay away from each other. Boys stay with the boys. Girls stay with the girls until sex is involved. Sex is involved. So this is why this is why there's never been a problem with, quote unquote, bisexual women. There's a problem with bisexual, like, he's a bisexual man, he's gay. I mean, yeah, if she's a bisexual woman, she's gay. The fuck? Like, she just likes both. You feel me? But now we have to get to the point of it that they like that same sex. They're both homosexuals. You feel what I'm saying? The problem is well, it's not even a problem, it's whatever it is. The issue with that is that when you look at the homosexual, it's like, are you a homosexual who likes vagina or doesn't? Same with the women. Are you the homosexual who doesn't like penis? Or are you the homosexual woman who does? Same dynamic. Because all of our lives we've been conditioned to stay away from girls, stay away from boys. We have never been educated that we're supposed to harmonize together. Never. You feel me? Kids have this babies and young kids, they have this unique connection. They have this unique connection where they understand reality. They'll hug each other, they'll hold hands. Never in their fucking minds does it ever get sexual. It's in the mind of the supposedly immature ass adult that gets sexual with this shit. You feel what I'm saying? But in that mature ass adult's energy, they continually put that sexual expression on the child, and the child starts to internalize it. They get older, they start to see certain things, and they're never educated about shit. Never educated about shit. So in not being educated about shit, you kind of develop this mentality of, this is what life is for me. This is what life is for me. So now I'm going to go back to the point of the homosexual man, the straight man, the cis man is, and the one who's quote unquote the oppressor of the black community. The cis straight black man is the oppressor of the motherfucking community. He's the white man of the community. No, that's not who's the oppressor. The homosexual man who likes vagina is the oppressor. Why? Because when you cannot get vagina, and this is why I don't know, I think I did a podcast episode on it, or maybe I made a caption or something. I don't know. My mind is just not there right now. But when we look at the homosexual man that likes vagina, the quote unquote cis man, okay? We're not That we need to start putting that label on it. If they're going to call that the cis man, we need to understand that that's the homosexual man who likes vagina. And then you have the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina. But neither one of these men like women. Let's put that shit in context. They're tolerable of them. They have friends. They selectively fuck with some of them, but none of them like women. Let's put that shit in the air. None of them like women. You feel what I'm saying? I've heard, like, we look at the cis straight man, we look at the cis man, or whatever the case may be, or the cis homosexual man, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to get that sentence straight so I can, I guess, say it the same way every time. But we look at the cis homosexual man who happens to like vagina, and we say he's the misogynist. He's the disrespectful one. He's the one, like, I don't think you've ever heard a homosexual man who doesn't like vagina spark and bark at a woman before. But he gets the pass. Why? Tell me why he gets the pass. See, the thing about this misogynistic shit, it holds no value just because he's the one who acts like a woman. He doesn't like vagina. So because he doesn't like vagina, it's okay for him to say and do the same shit that the man who likes vagina does. You feel what I'm saying? Same shit. I've seen conversations where homosexual men who don't like vagina, I'm gonna say it like that. The homosexual men who don't like vagina will cuss a woman out, call her a bitch, tell her she'll slap her in the face, he'll slap her in the face, do whatever he feels like he wants to do to her. Nobody says shit. I've seen homosexual men slap women in the face. And at that point, it's like, yo, I can't do shit, because then at that point, I'm no longer fighting a man. I'm gay bashing. I'm fighting. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm coming at it like I got to deal with shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody wants to address that part. Nobody wants to address that part. How the homosexual friend can be a lot just as equally demonizing to the sister, to the best friend as the homosexual straight man. And the reason why I'm saying homosexual straight man, because the homosexual straight man, you like vagina, but you still homosexual. You feel what I'm saying? But we don't realize that shit. This is what we have to come to terms with. A heterosexual man and a homosexual man who likes vagina is not the same shit. You dig what I'm saying? So we have to put these two things, we have to put these two perspectives in context. You dig what I'm saying? That's who the oppressor is. That's who the motherfucker is. Like I said, it's more problematic when a straight man, the quote unquote straight man, by straight man, at this point you understand that I'm meaning, for the sake of this conversation, the cis man being the homosexual man who likes vagina. Of course, if this is what I like, I already don't like women. Neither one of these beings like women. Whether you're a homosexual man that likes vagina or a homosexual man who doesn't like vagina, you don't like women. The misogyny is already there. You don't like women. You feel me? But in addition to that, you pick a side. Do I fuck with vagina or do I not? You know, you have the side of those who say, I don't fuck with vagina. Then you have the side of those who say, I do. You feel what I'm saying? So when we look at, that in context and in reality, this is why it can get so ugly and dark for women, especially black women. So when we say black women are not protected, this is why y'all not protected, because we don't like women. We've been bred and conditioned not to like women. And it's so ingrained that it creates this reality. You feel me? We get it from men. We get it from women equally. You feel what I'm saying? And then it creates this facade of the straight man, the straight black man. No, it's both. It's the heterosexual. It's the homosexual black man who doesn't like vagina, and it's the homosexual black man who does like vagina. Neither one of them like women. Neither one of them like women. You know? So then when you get the quote unquote down low brothers, it's like, you were kind of bred to be down low. But the reason why you're down low and you can't come out of the closet is because you have accepted the path that you have to fuck with vagina. You feel what I'm saying? And then on the same token to that, you have to accept that on the other side, that person doesn't like vagina. So women, we got to pay attention to that shit. So that's why it's like, I'm very picky and very touchy when it comes to women saying, yo, that pussy is good and all of this. Like, yo, what are you going to attract? You're going to attract that homosexual man who likes vagina, right? Yeah, your pussy going to be good and all of that shit. This is why that nagging comes in. This is why the arguing, he can't tolerate you, can't deal with you. That's when it becomes that type of man is the oppressor. That's when it becomes that type of man is the oppressive force. You dig what I'm saying? He's the one he'll cuss with. Like, you don't like women. You know, you don't like women. I never understood that shit. I was like, yo, I really fucking like women, bro. And this is that was my problem with the whole cis straight man thing, because I'm like, y'all don't even understand. Y'all are speaking from an expression of something and y'all are understanding it wrong. The heterosexual man, the heterosexual man is not the oppressor. He's not the problem. It's the homosexual man who likes vagina. You feel me? And it's the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina. Both of those are the motherfuckers that are repressing you. They will be the ones who are, and it's ironic because they will be the ones who classified will be the oppressors of, they will be the white man of the black, the black community. And they are. And they are. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm speaking on that in regards of, more so from the perspective of how they treat women. You feel what I'm saying? The homosexual man who doesn't like vagina will try to outdo a woman. Like it's if you gay, you gay. That's what bags your groceries. But it's like, for me, it gets problematic looking at it, because the gay men that we, on surface show that they're gay, they try to outdo women. You feel me? It's more than just okay, they like men. Nah, everything they do is to one up a woman. They're going to beat their face with their makeup. They're going to, do excessive shit. They're going to carry themselves like women, walk like women, talk like women, do everything, have the attitude and the attitude, the charisma, the style, the essence of a woman, so they can do it better. You feel what I'm saying? And is that not oppressive? Some say it won't be. But it's like you're showing, you're showing your disdain for women. I don't like women and I don't like vagina, but now these women are my friends. I become friends with these women. You dig what I'm saying? That's the other side to the shit. That's the other side to the shit. It's because they don't like women. They're like, yo, I'm not fucking women. I'm not sexually aroused by women. So because of these two dynamics, we feel that there's a separation in homosexuality because you like vagina, these niggas like vagina. Like the whole Boondock shit, when they did Gangstalicious with the homies over hoes and all of that shit, that was the epitome of the homosexual man who likes vagina. Motherfuckers missed how so much of that shit is real and how that shit even became a reality. They call them homo thugs. The prison dudes say they prison gay. It ain't prison gay, bro. It ain't being a homo thug. You was already a homosexual. Like, you just like vagina. You feel what I'm saying? You like vagina. All your life, you've been conditioned to fuck with dudes. That's all of our lives. We've been conditioned for this shit. You feel me? Affirmations. I love my niggas. I don't love no bitch. Homies over hoes. All of this shit. So what they're trying to say, and my purposing behind this is that what they're trying to say is the straight black man that is the oppressor is not a straight man at all. It is a homosexual man who likes vagina. And when that homosexual man who likes vagina can't get the vagina, you got to start to peel back the layers and put this shit in perspective. Why you think motherfuckers get upset when they homies don't pay them attention? Why you think motherfuckers get upset when, hey, yo, now you with your girl, you stimping, you whipped and shit. Like, when your girl takes you away from your boys and your boys get mad, y'all need to reevaluate some shit. I'm gonna keep it a G with you. Y'all need to reevaluate some shit. If your homies is keeping you from taking care of home, if they keeping you from your woman, if they are encouraging you to go out and fuck over on your girl to be with them, reevaluate some shit. Reevaluate some shit. You dealing with some homies that are gay. I ain't gonna say gay because, you're dealing with homosexual homies who like vagina and you don't even know the shit. That's your clique. That's your niggas. That's your homie. That's who you roll with. Homosexual men who like vagina. They don't even want you to be with a woman. Yo, you love that bitch, man? Listen to the words that you be saying to your homies. And they be saying to you, man, I don't love that bitch, man. She ain't shit, man. She this, she that. Like, no, you supposed to love her. The fuck? What kind of shit is that? If I tell one of my homies and shit, yo, man, I love my girl. And they be like, they laugh or they get like, it's a problem. It's a problem because, you know, I don't love no bitch. I love my niggas. I don't love no bitch. Like, that shit is the reality. So I'm going to reiterate. This is why I have the problem with this whole cis straight men, like, because y'all have not defined or even began to express what you're really talking about. So you guys generalize all of us. So me as a straight man say some shit that I'm not going for. Oh, you're homophobic. You're insecure. You're not, you know, you're deflecting. You're not confident in yourself. I'm very confident, but like I said, you're not gonna keep saying you're gonna slap everybody in the room. Come in and start slapping motherfuckers, and then get to me and not get slapped before you slap me. Like, I can't play that game. You feel what I'm saying? I can't play that game. But the game that I can play and the game that I will play is to show you what the fuck you're really talking about when you think you're talking about something. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of us don't realize this shit. You feel me? There's two dynamics to the homosexual man. We just think the homosexual man is based off the activity of actually fucking a man. Nah. It's a lot of homosexual men who never fucked a man a day in his life because they have been conditioned to like vagina and not fucking like women. You feel what I'm saying? We've all been conditioned this way. You dig what I'm saying? We've all been conditioned this way. I'm not saying that I'm the anomaly who just, it didn't happen to me. It happened to all of us. You feel what I'm saying? Now, what I had to realize was that this shit was happening to all of us. And that's like, oh, this ain't, you feel what I'm saying? And in that conditioning, I had like, maybe it's just, I ain't gonna say it was luck, but maybe it's just the reality that growing up with my, you know, with no father, being raised by my mother, always kicking it with my sister, I hung with women all the time. I learned to actually like women. I hung with women that I wasn't fucking. You feel me? Like literally sit and talk and have fun and play. Like, so I learned to really like women. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, when I had my whole phase and shit, you know, when my homies was like, yo, you be kicking game, what you be saying to these hoes? I'd be like, I just have a conversation with them. Like, I never, ever, ever, ever in my life spit game at a woman. I never used game to get a number. I just had a conversation. I remember when I was in undergrad, I told this young lady, I said, look, if I get over a 5-minute conversation with you, I'm gonna get your number. She was like, no, you won't. I said, I'm telling you, yo, if I really want her, bro, and I get over a 5-minute conversation with her in that setting, I got her. I'm gonna get her number. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, nah, because I find you attractive, but you still wouldn't get my number. I said, I don't want your number. You know, shit got crazy because motherfuckers got mad. But I've always had that connection. Women would just, you know, still to this day, women can just sit and be comfortable with me and talk to me. And I could talk back with them. And like, we can laugh, we can joke, we build friendships. And it's cool because I realized that the separating factor was that I always liked women. But I liked women before I learned to like vagina. Hey, huddle up, broskies, because it's time to elevate. The secret to evolving masculinity is to define it, understand it, then apply it. The So Frail series defines masculinity as the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction. From this definition, I explain how masculinity is not just the hat that we wear, but it's the essence that we must exude through application. If you enjoy the So Frail conversations, why not read the books that inspire them? Visit IamJustSeen.com right now to add the So Frail series to your library to get a better understanding of what masculinity really is. I promise, after reading So Frail, you will never look at masculinity the same again. You feel what I'm saying? Growing up, I didn't play sports. I didn't play sports like collectively. I think when I was like 6, I played flag football when I was 6. One season, we won a championship that year. So I didn't feel the need to play football anymore. And that's what you go for. You know, they put me on a team called the Little Giants and we won. That year we got our championships, got my trophy and everything. I ain't play football no more. You know what I mean? I never played sports like that. My homies did. They played, we'll play shoot around and shit in the neighborhood, but that was about it. But for the most part, I was always around women. You feel me? But I learned that, I really like women. You feel what I'm saying? I really like women. I used to feel bad, about calling women hoes and shit. Like, I used to feel bad in that, but then it came to that spark where it was just like, yo, the conditioning got crazy. Like, that's how me and my homies, we continually talked about women. We get like, man, fuck these bitches. This bitch ugly. This bitch that. It's like, I don't want that bitch. Damn, when you start saying shit like that over and over and over and over again, you stop liking women, but you just want some pussy though. And we think that we're straight because of that. We think that's the straight man. Oh, it's the man who likes vagina. No. He just likes vagina. He don't even like women. Like, to be a straight man, you have to, like, to be a heterosexual man, you have to like women. Default. You can't just like vagina and not like the woman. We don't like women. So now we get to that point where it's like, yo, what about the protection? What about the protection? This is why they feel like, see, the thing with this, and this is kind of gonna get, I ain't gonna say dark, but it's gonna start to put shit in perspective. Because 2 points that I seen on social media. The first point is that when it comes to black men who have to protect black women, we have to understand that people want that protection only from the straight man. But they're asking for protection from the homosexual man who doesn't like women. Whether that homosexual man be the man from the side who doesn't like vagina or the man who does like vagina, that's who's you're seeking protection from. That's why if you pay attention to the narratives, these dudes be like, well, I'm not fucking her. She ain't sucking my dick. That ain't my girl. I'm only gonna protect my sisters and my cousins and my immediate family. I'm not doing that shit for no randoms. Do you see? Do you see where I'm going with this? And do you see why I have an issue when people say the straight black man is the oppressor? No, it's not the straight black man. It's the homosexual black man who likes vagina. That's who y'all are trying to label this shit as. So call it that. Stop attacking and coming at us straight black men who really like women. You feel what I'm saying? The other point to that I was talking about was there was a homosexual dude, or he was transgender or something. I don't really know the full dynamic of it, but he was a part of the Alphabet crew. Okay, so he made a tweet or something, and then I guess a straight dude responded back. So he was like, "Who's gonna protect us?" Like this, I think he was responding as a gay man, but he was like, "Who's gonna protect us? We don't feel protected either." And the dude responded, "Nigga, you's a whole fucking man. Protect your fucking self." Powerful sentiment, because it was real. Because this is where the reality is coming in, because we're not liking women. You feel me? But that's the other side that I was talking about not liking women, but trying to outdo women, or trying to be what women are, far more than what a woman can be. So that whole oppressor shit, it's the twofold thing. You have the covert, which is the homosexual man who likes vagina, and then you have you have the overt. I said it back. You have the overt, who is the homosexual man who likes vagina. Then you have the covert, who is the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina. Neither one of these men are going to protect a woman. And women don't seek the protection from the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina. The one who's the flamboyant one. They don't even expect him to defend them. That's some bullshit. Because it's like, that's a man. Whether he likes men or not, or whether you feel like he's soft or whatnot, that's a man. Why don't you desire to seek protection from him too? Who you want protection from is the quote unquote warrior. Who you want protection from is the man that you're not yassing with all the time. You feel me? You don't want protection from him, but he's still a man. So he's designed to protect you still, but he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. So you want the protection from the quote unquote straight man, but the man collectively, whether we're straight, tall, dark, black, white, that man, we're built to protect you. We're built to do that shit for you, but you only require it from the straight man. But it's in the dynamic of understanding that what you perceive as a straight man is the homosexual man who likes vagina. And it makes sense, because it's like when I be talking to women, I've had this question asked to me several times in this shit. You know what I'm saying? The couple times it pissed me off is like, but then I started to understand why she was asking it. She was like, yo, because I started hearing these conversations. I always ask him if he had sex with a man. She was like, you ever had sex with a man before? No. Why the fuck would I have sex with a man? She was like, I'm just saying, like, you never tried it at all? No, I ain't never tried it all. The fuck? I don't fuck dudes. I'm not gay, bro. I don't get it. And I had to understand that shit, or what led to that. You feel what I'm saying? She was like, I'm just, making sure. I said, you ever had sex with a woman? You know, incidentally, she said, yeah, but I'm like, how the fuck does that work? Like, how the fuck are you asking me if I ever had sex with a man? You actively had sex with a woman before, and you don't want me to see you as gay, but that was a whole different conversation. Shout out to you, man. You my homie still. I still fuck with you. But you feel what I'm saying? That I get why that is asked. You know, like dudes have, like, they be like, yo, I'm not gay. I'm prison gay. I'm only here because I'm only fucking dudes in prison because this is the only hole I could fuck right now. Do you see? When you have the homosexual man who only likes vagina, he'll fuck anything. He'll fuck anything. You gotta be careful. He'll fuck anything. You dig what I'm saying? So we gotta really pay attention to that when we're labeling that shit. You feel me? Are we referring to the straight man because, are we calling this man straight because on paper and everything, he likes vagina? Oh, you're always around women and this, that, and the third, and you know, you're always fucking, you got a different chick every night. Like, now granted, I know it can come off contradictory because I'm always around women and everything like that. Here's the difference. I'm not fucking all of the women I'm around. You know? And that comes into a problematic piece. So when we're having these conversations with a man, it's like, you know, when women get caught up in, oh, he doesn't want to fuck me, or he didn't try to make a pass at me, he must be gay. That's the first thing you see. First thing you say. Do you know why you feel that way? Because you know, deep down inside, you know that you're dealing with homosexual men who either like vagina or don't like vagina. And when you feel as if he's not going to fuck you or he doesn't want to fuck you, that he's one of the two. If he doesn't want to fuck you, then it's like, okay, well, he's gay. You feel what I'm saying? Because you see how we base everything off of the vagina and shit. But yet, never does it cross your mind. Rarely does it cross your mind or get to a point where you say, you know what? He might really like women. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he might really like women. That's why he didn't try to make a pass. He wants to get to know me. Oh, go figure. Would you think about that? He wants to really get to know me as a person, as a being. You feel what I'm saying? We really got to pay attention to that shit. Like, this is something that is like the scope of where we are. You know? I always wondered, like when I was young, I would ditch my homies for some girls. I didn't care. You feel what I'm saying? I would ditch them. And like, I would really go and sit around them and really hang with them. You feel me? When I was young, I had a homeboy who used to double dutch. Straight as can be. You feel me? Like, and I knew he was straight because that was my homie. That was like, we were friends. So, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, he used to double dutch with my sister. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers be like, yo, he gay, he double dutching. Bruh ain't gay, bro. If you ain't careful, he might take your bribe, but bruh ain't gay, bro. Like, he likes women. So therefore, he doesn't have a problem with doing a woman's activities with the woman. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's different from doing a woman's activities with the woman than doing a woman activities as a woman. You feel me? Feel me? And that's when, like I said, it goes into the split dynamic. Like, what we deem as straight is really a homosexual man who likes vagina. You feel what I'm saying? So we need to put that in context when we're talking about straight, because the straight man that y'all bitching about, let me say that. I don't want to say straight because it's like, yo, you're calling yourself a straight man. I am a straight man. You feel me? I'm a heterosexual man. The thing is like the straight man that y'all are bitching about, the one that y'all are complaining about, the one that's, they're not protecting us. They're not this. They're not that. They're not doing all of this shit. That's a homosexual man who just likes vagina. Look at the tendencies of the shit that they do. The subconscious mind and the unconscious mind do not lie. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. Your conscious mind could justify whatever you want to do. I've had over this Tory Lanez, whether he really shot her in the motherfucking foot or not, whether the shit was real, I don't give a fuck. Look at the principle of the shit. How a man can say he shot this woman and all y'all niggas keep saying, we gotta see the story. We don't know what's up. Do you see? You're defending the man more than you're defending the woman because you don't like the woman, you like the man. You dig what I'm saying? You want the man's attention. That's what the fuck you want. But you like vagina. So you think you're not gay because you still like vagina. Nah, you homosexual, bro. You homosexual. You spend hours, you go rants on all of this shit. You feel me? Soon as a woman say something, y'all go ham about how like women can't embrace their sexuality. Why? Why? Because their sexuality makes the homosexual men who like vagina a problem. It's a problem for them. Because I just like vagina, but it doesn't need to have bodies. It doesn't need to have all of this other shit. Like, yo, I'm going to keep it a G with you, yo. As long as your energy is straight, as long as you clear from diseases and shit, and you comfortable with me, first date going on to the health clinic, getting tested together. Woohoo, good job. We're clear. You good with that shit? Your bodies don't matter to me because you got to have experience. You feel me? You got to have experience. Fuck with me. I've been around the game. You feel what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about fucking a virgin. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I understand the body so well. I know that when she's aroused, it's the pussy gonna be loose. I don't want no tight pussy. Like, none of that shit. You feel me? I want that shit loose, wet, soaking, and dripping. Fuck all of the petite, tight shit. No, because it's not supposed to be like that. But see, it's not supposed to be like that. But when you're a homosexual man who only likes vagina, you're never gonna get the woman off the right way. You dig what I'm saying? Because she could feel that you don't like her. You feel me? That energy doesn't lie. Your energy shows that you don't like her. You feel me? And then you pass on, when you have sex with this person, you're passing on unwanted energy into her. And now she starts to internalize. Women don't even understand why they start to internalize, why they don't want themselves, why they stop liking themselves after they fucking with certain men. You feel what I'm saying? Why men can cheat, why men can do certain shit, because you don't understand the full dynamic of what it is. These, like, when they say, well, it's not emotional for men. Men don't get caught up in emotion. It's not that they don't get caught up in emotion. They never like you enough to actually have feelings. They like you enough to put up enough effort to get the pussy. And that's what it is. Why? Because they're homosexual men who like vagina. You feel me? You feel me? I got more respect for the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina because at least he admits it. At least he says, I don't like women. He said, I don't like girls. I don't, I like dudes and I don't like, I don't like that. You feel me? But the homosexual man who likes vagina, who's in denial to the fact that he's gay. Like, bro, like, you might be gay, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, when your first reaction is, you really got to start looking at what you conditioned to be. When your first reaction of a woman saying something that really doesn't fit a certain narrative that you like, if your first reaction is to attack her, you don't like women. Admit it. Admit it. I got people that I follow. I got people that I know that when I talk about women in a positive light, well, what about the ones like, I'm not talking about them. I'm not saying they don't exist, but they don't exist in my realm. I don't fuck with women like that. You feel what I'm saying? Do you know why I don't fuck with women like that? And I can't fuck with women like that, and women like that don't fuck with me? Because I like women. And because I like women, I actually have a positive outlook on the women that I interact with. Therefore, the women that come into my space, they give me a positive experience. Yes, I've been cheated on. Yes, I've had experiences with singular black women at particular points in my life. But I've had phenomenal, those numbers don't work for me. I put it on a 10% scale to the 90% of motherfuckers that are in my space that work, because I really like women. You feel me? I really like women. And I've learned that a lot of us, we're not taught to like women. Conditionally, listen to your music. Show me your playlist. Show me your playlist, right? Show me what music you're listening to. Show me what you watch the most. Show me what's in your head the most. Show me your friends and who you hang around with the most. And I can almost guarantee whether you're a homosexual man who likes vagina or not. And you don't even know it. We be wondering, why can't relationships work? Why don't marriages work? Woman, you have married a man who don't like women, but likes vagina. The pussy get old. Like, I never got that shit. Like, I never understood that shit. Like, I do be like, yo, I'm not fucking you for the pussy. Like, I'm fucking you for you. You feel me? That's been my problem. You feel me? Coming up, like, that's been my biggest problem with having sex with women, because it's like, how you get tied up into them so tight? Because I like the person that I'm having sex with. I like the person that I'm having sex with. I'm not just fucking the body. Like, and I've never done that. Like if I got cheated on, this shit hurt. It wasn't a, nah, man, that shit hurt. I couldn't just get past it. The moment I penetrated a woman, it's because I really liked her. That was like, I liked you. You feel me? I liked you as a woman. You know, I liked the way you laughed. I liked the way you talked. You know what I'm saying? The way your mind thought, our conversations and shit like that. I liked all of that. And then I happened to have sex with you. That was cool. That made it better. But you see what I'm saying? This is the shit that we got to deal with. So when you have the straight black man, who actually likes women, we're the burden bearers right now. We're taking the lashings for motherfuckers that ain't us. You feel me? We're being demonized and critiqued for motherfuckers that, like, we're the ones who get called homophobic. We're the ones that have to carry this, and it's not even us that are doing this shit to y'all. It's not even us that's doing this shit to y'all. Ironically, it's the homosexual man. Both of them. The homosexual man who doesn't like women, and the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina, and the homosexual man who does. Neither one of them like women. Nobody's paying attention to that shit. Neither one of them like women. So much so that the ones who don't like women and don't like vagina feel like, I'm going to be the replaceable vagina. Why protect them? I need their spot. The fuck I'm going to protect them for? I'm taking their spot. You feel me? The one who likes vagina, why I need them? I don't love these bitches. You feel me? I'm just doing this to procreate and shit like that. So now it's like, yo, when did this happen? When did this happen? It's biblical. It's a lot of homosexuality in the biblical times. You feel me? Hell, the inception of the shit is all about men. Why is it all about men? Why are all of these things about men continually passed down? It's about the man and being able to have vagina. This is why it gets me, because I always had these conversations with people, and they were like, do women mature faster than men? Fuck no. Women don't mature faster than men. Women are matured faster than men because they have to be. So when we look at it from the procreation perspective, people be like, well, what happens when, that's why men date younger women. They try to play that role like men date younger women because men aren't as mature. No, if we weren't as mature as y'all, we wouldn't be playing y'all at the same ages. The fuck? Come on, let's keep it a buck. Don't do that. Don't do that. We aren't matured as fast as y'all because y'all have to be matured to avoid motherfuckers like us. Motherfuckers that we're going to develop into. Homosexual men who only like vagina. You feel what I'm saying? This is why we get with the younger woman, because it's like, her biological clock and all of this shit. I still want kids. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going to get younger so I can have the time and everything like that. Nah, you should be able to be on par with your same age bracket. Like, that shit misses me. It's bullshit to me. I can't co-sign that men mature faster. And I can't say that on the strip. And the reason why I can't say that is because I'm the anomaly. And I hate that. It's like, yo, you're not the rule, the exception to, I don't give a fuck about the rule and shit. But because I know the circle and I know the inner circle, I know that we all mature the same fucking way. There's no way in hell you can be in my auric space and not be as mature as me. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. If I got this shit as a kid and I hung around homies and we were on the same wavelength, on the same level, it's a game. It's a game. It's a game we're allowed to play. You never hear girls will be girls. You hear boys will be boys. You never hear, oh, let the boys play or let the girls play. No, the girls got to be young ladies from the jump. We get to be boys up until we're 30. So again, the boys, the men, women don't mature faster than us. They are matured faster than us. You dig what I'm saying? Because we don't have to. But again, that was a quick tangent, but it goes into what we like and what we don't like. You feel what I'm saying? That's why all of this shit is a game. That's why all of this shit is a playful game. And when it comes to this over aggressive shit that they keep talking about, the cis straight man, start acknowledging that shit. You're not talking about heterosexual men when you say that shit. You're talking about homosexual men the homosexual men who only like vagina. That's who this problem is with. If you want to say that that's cis because they're homosexual and then you know that trans is homosexual too, and okay, that's homosexual, we'll keep it in that. But they're not heterosexual men. They're not heterosexual men. And as a heterosexual, they're not heterosexual men, they're not straight men. And as a heterosexual straight man, I had to address that because it's like, it may not apply to me. So, but I can't let it fly because what you're trying to demonize and put everything on is all of us, and it's not. It's not. Okay? Some men haven't even acknowledged that this shit within themselves. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I put this shit in So Frail. I put all of this shit that I be talking about in So Frail. Now, granted, am I talking about it like I'm talking about it now? No, but I had to put this shit in So Frail because we have been conditioned for this shit. Misogyny is the competition between men. Why do you have a competition between men? You dig what I'm saying? This shit gets deep. This shit gets deep. So we have to continually ask ourselves, when we talk about this cis straight man, what are you really talking about? You're talking about a man who doesn't like women anyway, but he only likes vagina. That don't count. That's not a straight man. That's not a straight man. That is a homosexual man that's a homosexual man who only likes vagina. He's in the same bracket as the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina. They're the same motherfucker. They're the same motherfucker. Opposite sides of the same coin. You dig what I'm saying? And it's not just sagging. It's not just that other goofy shit that they want to put on it and talk on it. But it's the reality of the conditioning. We've been around boys and men all of our lives. We've been around these things. Like basketball shit, motherfuckers smack you on your ass when you scoring again. Like the shit just been conditional to do certain shit that causes things like that. You taking showers around men all of the fucking time. It's like, the fuck? You dig what I'm saying? Shit like that happens. And then we get to a point where you meet you have the guy who actually likes women. Oh, he's a simp. He a cornball. He a goofball. And it's so bad that some women really don't even acknowledge that they only like gay men who like vagina. Did you catch that? Oh, he's too nice. He's so sweet. I just can't get into. You don't really realize you like men who don't like you. You like men who don't like you. That's who you're more attracted to. And you wonder why your shit don't work. You know, you wonder. Now, I'm not talking about those simps who get to, become the doormats. I'm talking about I'm talking about the ones who, you know what I'm talking about. The ones who, they were completely not your norm. They weren't the bad guy, but they were still solid in themselves. They would go to bed if they got to, but you feel me? They catered to you. They loved you. He's just not as rugged as I want him to be. He not just as gay as I need him to be. You don't even get that you like homosexual men who only like vagina because you feel like the vagina is all that you're going to use to get them. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the attack. That's the conversation that we need to be having right now. That's the shit that we need to be talking about. You feel what I'm saying? The oppressor of the black community, if you're going to put it, is not the straight black man. It's the homosexual black man who likes vagina. You feel me? That's what you got to put that shit on. Because a lot of dudes be thinking just because I like vagina means I'm not gay. Nah, bro, you gay too. You just like vagina. You're the homosexual man who likes vagina and shit. The heterosexual man is totally different. We're the ones that y'all keep talking. They're the ones that are the homophobic, and it's not the homosexual man who likes the vagina is the one that is homophobic, and they're homophobic on the strength of being found out. You feel me? Like, who another motherfucker fuck don't make me come? I don't, like, that shit ain't got shit to do with me. You feel me? I don't need to be, like, you feel me? Even if I was religious and I wanted to, oh, you're a homosexual, so you're going to hell. Like, your sentence to the afterlife ain't got shit to do with me. None of that shit has anything to do with me. Who the fuck you're involved with has nothing to fucking do with me. Why should I care? You feel what I'm saying? But like I said, a lot of them, they have that fear because it's getting found out. You feel me? That's what the homophobia comes in. And it's ironic because it's the homosexual man who likes vagina. It's the homosexual man who only likes vagina who is homophobic for fear of getting found out. You feel what I'm saying? All of the homies that I know, like the solid heterosexual men, is like, our minds aren't wrapped around gay shit. You feel what I'm saying? You can tell by the subtle shit these motherfuckers do, bro. Listen, you feel me? Go to a cookout with a motherfucker. Like, these niggas be 30, 40, some of them be in their 50s. They still doing the shit now. Motherfucker be like, yo, let me get a hot dog. Pause, no homo. Yo, let me get a 6-inch. Pause, no homo. You feel me? If the shit that you say leads you to think gay thoughts, guess what you are? You dig? It's that simple. You feel me? It's that simple. When I was like, I used to write rhymes and shit, And I used to put that shit in lyrics. I used to be like, yo, no homo, but this not. I was like, what the fuck I'm saying no homo for? I ain't gay. I didn't say no gay shit. Like, the fuck? Like, nothing crossed my mind to feel that. You feel what I'm saying? But I watched it. I watched them start to pay attention. You feel me? So it goes back into what happens with that over-aggression. That over-aggression, that rage and the shit, that over-conversation to be tougher than you really are because, you know, it is what it is. You dig what I'm saying? So it just gets me in this position where we have to really thoroughly understand and come to terms with that shit. When y'all are talking about this man, this cis straight man that, you know, y'all are trying to label him right and know who the fuck you're talking about for real. Stop trying to put that shit on all of us because the moment a straight man talks, that's when y'all want to, see here, y'all put up the walls the moment a straight man talks anyway. You feel me? Soon as we start opening our mouths and start speaking and shit, everybody wants to, Every time I go speak on masculinity at a panel or some shit like that, the women in the front, it always works like this. The women sitting in the front, they fold their arms and they sit back and they stare at me as soon as I start talking about masculinity. By the end of that shit, they fucking arms is down to the side. They laughing, joking, and playing because they see what the fuck masculinity really is. It's different, bro. It's different, my nigga. It's different. And that is what people are like, yo, I got a different perspective of it. I know you do, because I don't have to stick to the physical side of this shit of just basically gender and carnal shit. I'm way up here with the motherfucker now. You got to meet me up there to understand what I'm talking about. You feel what I'm saying? People aren't even there yet. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, like, y'all gotta stop. We gotta stop being labeled that shit. Like, for real. Because as a straight black man, I gotta face that when I start talking. Oh, here you go with this. Here you go with the oppressors shit. I'm not oppressing y'all. In fact, I've liberated more women in my space than anything. You feel what I'm saying? My homies and my brothers and shit, I tighten them up. We elevating, but it's more women in my space that can vouch for the liberation that I've given them. I ain't oppressing shit. You feel me? Just through captions and social media posts. You imagine what the fuck I'm doing just through a caption and a social media post and through distant shit. Imagine what it is hands on. You feel what I'm saying? But I get it. Somebody has to point the finger and somebody got to make it look like it's the black man. But it is some black man. But you got to put the shit into context. You got to put the shit into perspective, all right? This going forward, when you talk about that oppressor man, acknowledge and look at it as a homosexual man, specifically the homosexual man who only likes vagina. But you got to understand, there's no difference between the homosexual man who likes vagina and the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina, because neither one of them like women. And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start tying it up there. Like, I know at the beginning I seemed triggered and shit, and I was, because I don't like when people try to speak on something they don't understand. You feel me? It's just something that they believe. They believe about a situation. Yeah, the straight black man, because then you had a straight black man who are there, and we have to succumb to that. Well, if it don't apply, let it fly. It don't apply to me, but you can't keep, like I said, bro, I like using this example. You can't come in the room and just start slapping motherfuckers. You feel me? You just can't come in the room and say, I'll whoop everybody ass in here, bro. Like, and then I start to see you proceed to slap motherfuckers. Like, I'm gonna slap you before you slap me. Oh, he's homophobic because he got to me before I got to him. Like, the fuck, like that shit, like, this is why we can't have healthy dialogues and shit, because everybody has these stigmas up prior to the conversation being had. And so we can't get to the true point of what the depths of this shit really is. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that quote unquote oppressor, the straight black man that they're trying to call as the oppressor is not straight at all. He just doesn't acknowledge this. He just doesn't acknowledge that he's gay. You feel me? Because he still likes vagina. You feel me? He still likes vagina. But at the same time, it's like we have to draw the line and decide who's who. We have to draw the line and say, okay, look, that's not us. So when we talk about some, not all, this is kind of what we got to put on the table. Nobody want to have this conversation, though. A lot of brothers ain't gonna want to have this conversation. Because, it's hard. It's going to be real hard to look at a motherfucker dead in his face and say, bro, you might be homosexual, but you still like vagina. And in that sentence, he will say, but I'm fucking. I'm still getting bitches and shit. Do you see how you validate my point? Like, think about that conversation. Like, yo, I'm getting pussy, though. I'm getting bitches, though. Like, when you express shit like that, if you talk to a straight dude and you ask him, yo, you gay? Nah, I ain't gay, bitch. I'm getting bitches. First thing you do is you acknowledge that you're getting what you don't like because you're calling women bitches. Cool. All right, cool. Or they'll say, yo, I'm getting pussy, yo. I'm fucking this bitch. I'm fucking 8 bitches. And like, I didn't say you couldn't get vagina. I didn't say you weren't fucking vagina. I said you don't like women. And you're validating that you don't like women. You like vagina. That's all you reiterate. Pussy, 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 pussy. Pussy, pussy, pussy. Like, listen to our music. Listen to the rappers. Listen to all of this shit. Like, listen to the R&B niggas. You feel me? It's all about fucking. It's all about pussy. They don't like women. We don't like women. You feel me? This is what we're conditioned to. This is what we're bred to. And like I said, I was going to mention this earlier, but I kind of got off track. It's not just the men who condition us to this shit. It's the women too. Women tell us there's a certain type of woman that we should be dealing with. You know how many conversations I've had with women, and I love them to life. And I don't know if they're really doing this on purpose, but sometimes it's just the way it is. They're like, yo, you need a woman that, they're like that. Some of the women that I involve myself, they say, she's not on your level. You don't, like, she doesn't deserve a type of man. Like, why doesn't she? Why doesn't she deserve a man like me? What kind of man am I? But why doesn't she deserve a man like me? You feel what I'm saying? So we create a lot of this shit already. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, she's not for you. Like, I've had women tell me she's not for you. The fuck you mean? Do you not hear how she makes me laugh, bro? You feel me? I've never been one who's worried about how a woman looks on my arm. I'm more worried about how she feels to my soul. I just so happen to get the women that look good on my arms too. But you feel me? I've always been attracted to the women who made my soul feel good. You feel what I'm saying? Who made my soul feel good as hell. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you can't bring me that, I don't give a fuck how cute you are. Shit, I'm handsome too. The fuck? Fuck, like, you not like that. That's not gonna be enough. That's not gonna be enough. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a lot more than that shit. And if you're used to dudes hyping you up for being cute, it's gonna suck with me. It's gonna suck with me. You know why? Because I actually like women. When I just want the bad bitch and shit, it gets to the point where if I just want the baddest bitch and she's claiming to be the baddest bitch, like, I just want that pussy and shit. You feel me? For the dudes out there that's always bragging and hyping and saying, yo, I want the baddest bitch in this life, it's not cool. The baddest bitch is not like, it's not a trophy, bro. It's not like, I get it. If you was a bad bitch and your friend's bad too, you got the swag, so she dripping swag, whatever. If you that, you feel me? Cool, be that. But don't make that seem like you're upper echelonian or something because you're a bad bitch and shit. Like, you feel me? Like, that is for dudes who only like vagina. Bad bitches are only for dudes who like vagina. I know it's bad. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you get the bad bitch and she ain't got no substance, it's like, the fuck? Like, what more do you have? Like, what more is here? Oh, so you were just gonna fucking leave me alone? Yes. This is why bad bitches just get fucked and left alone. This is why the quandary is that bad bitches have the most bodies, but bad bitches have the most fucked up shit wrong with them internally. You feel me? Every bad bitch that I had, and I'm only using bad bitch for the title. I don't refer to women as bitches and shit. I'm using this for the conversation so y'all know what I'm dealing with. Because on surface, we got people ascribing and striving to be bad bitches and shit. Women striving to be bad bitches and shit. And hell, due to the conversation, you have some men striving to be bad bitches. Do you see? But anyway, the bad bitch is the standard physically. You feel what I'm saying? but she's never the standard emotionally. She's never the standard mentally. You don't know what it takes to be a bad bitch. Like, I don't think people really get that. Every bad, quote unquote, bad bitch that I've had a lot. But because I've liked women, I actually was like, yo, damn, you went through some shit. Sexual abuse, molestation, you feel me? Like all kind of shit. This core shit, this confident shit is it's a mask that they put on. You feel what I'm saying? I'll probably do an impromptu podcast about that. But it's a mask that they put on. You feel what I'm saying? All of these quote unquote baddies who I be saying with them, you know, I pulled them, broke them down. And I broke them down in the sense of, you know, oh, I'm a fuck with her mind. Nah, I unleashed her mind. You know how many bad bitches, quote unquote, I have met in my life who by the first or third conversation, I made them cry. Not because I demonized them, not because I broke them down and said some shit that wasn't true, but because I let them be free. I let their emotions show. I let that shit show. Like, yo, baby girl, you got a lot with you. You might not be ready for me right now, but we can be friends and we can be cool. Just let's talk. You feel me? You know how many bad bitches don't want to be bad bitches? But you know who they're bad bitches for? The homosexual man who likes vagina. Think about that shit. Women are becoming bad bitches for men who don't even like them. The shit get crazy though. The shit gets real crazy because now we have to put that shit in context and we have to put that shit in perspective because I don't want to have this conversation anymore because I'm tired of having this like motherfuckers keep saying shit like, yo, cis black men are the white supremacists of the black community. They the oppressors. No, we not. It's not us. We mind our business. We go to work. We take care of our kids. We're the motherfuckers y'all don't want to talk about. We're the ones that's doing shifts after, you know, we doing shifts over, you know, the sister's houses and shit when she's getting threats and shit. And we putting 12-hour shifts in that y'all don't want to talk about. You feel me? We're the ones that y'all keep sweeping under the rug. But y'all putting, you know what attention y'all putting into? The homosexual man who only likes vagina, who doesn't like women. That's who y'all put the attention to. That's what y'all think that's what y'all want protection from. You're not going to get it. Just like you're not going to get protection from the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina. You're especially not going to get it from him. He wants your spot. He takes your spot. Like, you feel me? He takes it. You know, but your only focus is that you want to point it out and put it on the cis straight man. But you don't know, what are you actually identifying? Because these men that you're talking about, they're not straight. They're not heterosexual men. You just haven't registered that shit yet. So it's easy to point the fingers at everything. Point the fingers at everybody and say, black men ain't doing this. Black men ain't protecting us. Black men ain't this. It just so happens that the black men that you're speaking to, they have no desire to do so because there's no point. We've been, like I said, since kids, we've been conditioned just to only fuck with niggas. Only fuck with men. We've been bred to be homosexuals. The differentiating factor was, you know, did we like vagina or not? That's the only difference. That's really the only difference in the shit. You know, it takes a level of understanding. And it's like, it doesn't help being raised without fathers. Because that really enhances the fact, oh, we really ain't supposed to like women. My dad don't like my mama. You feel me? Fuck, he just made me and dip. The pussy was good, he dipped. You feel me? So, you know what I mean? We need to address that shit and put the title on that. That's how I feel about that shit. You feel me? Hell yeah. You feel me? As a man, I admit my emotions. Hell yeah, I got triggered when I get upset when I keep hearing that shit. Straight black men are there. No, we're not. We're not. That's not us that's doing that shit. You feel me? Because now because you don't understand how we gotta deal with that shit. You feel me? Because we gotta continually check motherfuckers that need checking and shit. We're not checking other heterosexual men. We're checking homosexual men who like vagina. There's a different context with that because these motherfuckers are angry. They're rude. You feel me? They're angry. They're rude. They're aggressive, passive aggressive. They got slick tongues and all this shit. They're very catty and argumentative. You see how the shit is the same? Just one motherfucker likes vagina, the other one doesn't. They literally are the same motherfucker. Didn't even think about it before, did you? Same motherfucker. The way they talk, you feel me? The way they yell, the way they argue, it's the same shit. because a motherfucker got a little bit more bass in his voice, or because a motherfucker doesn't put the twang in his voice to sound like a woman, that he's not. No, y'all have the same fucking mannerisms. One of y'all just likes vagina, the other one doesn't. And that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to put in perspective. Stop saying it's the straight black man who is the pressure. No, it's not. It's the homosexual man. Ironically. You feel me? The one who's supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like, it's the homosexual man who happens to like vagina. You feel me? It's both, really, if you ask me. Because, you know, but specifically for this, when they're talking about the oppressor part, I'm sure that they're talking about the one who likes vagina. You feel me? But like I said, there's no difference in the way they speak to women when they're angry. In fact, the homosexual man who doesn't like vagina, he gets a lot worse and he gets the pass. He gets a lot worse and he gets the pass. I've heard the homosexual man who likes vagina, you know, he call you a bitch, you know, buckethead bitch, whatever the case may be, stupid hoe and all of that shit. But the homosexual who doesn't like vagina, whoa, they air your business out. They read you to filth. They do a lot of shit. So what's worse? What's worse, yo? So I gotta ask, who's really the oppressor? I mean, we'll be the punching bag. We'll be the martyrs for that shit. We'll take it. Put it on us. Put it on a straight black man. You feel what I'm saying? Put it on a straight black man. But start acknowledging who the fuck you're really talking about when you're talking about that shit, and really start to think about it. I know this is going to be an aha moment like a motherfucker. This is going to be a soul. Like, pay attention to the men in your circle. Pay attention to your brothers. Pay attention to shit like that, and pay attention to how people respond. You feel me? Motherfuckers think homosexuality is that I'm just fucking the same sex. No. It's deeper than that. And when you start to understand the layers of how we've been conditioned for it to be deeper, you start to see how oh shit, bruh. You got to tighten some shit up. You feel me? Liking vagina is not the same as liking a woman. Therefore, that is the defining factor. That, like, talk to him. Like, yo, just test this shit. Test this shit on a motherfucker and be like, yo, just ask a dude, straight dude, if he's gay. You feel me? First several points, I don't fuck. Like, man, as many bitches as I'm fucking, hell nah, I ain't fucking. Like, if it go, it's gonna go to fucking, because we're conditioned to have carnal energies. We're conditioned to be carnal. Everything is about sex. Everything is about procreation. We've been reduced to that shit. You feel what I'm saying? And we're around. That's all we're around. That's all we're told to be around. Only fuck with. You feel me? Watch that shit, yo. If your homies are encouraging you to ditch your lady to go with them, check it. If you're home, like, you got to start to pay attention to certain shit, bro. You feel me? You got to start paying attention to certain shit. Because love is different. Love is different. And when you love your niggas and shit, if we have societally accepted that love is infatuation, admiration, desire, and lust, like, why you in that motherfucker circle? What you looking for? You feel what I'm saying? Shit be getting crazy, yo. Shit be getting crazy. And I just wanted to address that, because it's like, I get tired of seeing that conversation, yo. But, you know, I don't like repeating myself either. But at the same time, it's like, yo, you can't just let certain shit fly, but for so much. Because I can't even come into conversations anymore, you know, when it's like, yo, you know, women hit me up all the time and say, hey, look, I want you to come speak here. I want you to come talk to me about this, talk about this. I'm like, cool, I got you. What are we talking about? You know, it's always masculinity. It's always this and shit, you know. But I got to realize that we got to understand what homosexuality is, too. For real. And stop trying to put that on us, because it's like, I got to come in with the guards all the way up. Like, motherfuckers got to be, he about to talk about straight, he about to talk about masculinity. And they think when I talk about masculinity, I'm talking about some aggressive thing. Like, y'all don't understand masculinity the way that I do. So I don't argue with y'all about that shit, bro. Like, as soon as we start talking, like, I know for a fact there's degrees of understanding between this shit. Motherfuckers haven't even scratched the surface between what I have comprehended and, you know, understand and have been given as a result of what masculinity is. So that's why I try to, you know, be patient. But this right here was the thing that I couldn't ignore it anymore. Because you get tired of hearing that shit. You get tired of hearing over and over again. And it's like, y'all motherfuckers don't even know the difference between what you talk about. Y'all don't even know the true motherfucker that you're talking about when you're talking about it. But you know what? You do now. You You feel me? That oppressive man that you're talking about, and it's the same shit. Where did we get this from? Where did we get this from? You know, who thinks like this? Who thinks like this? Nobody wants to put that in perspective, because now you have to realize why the women's suffrage movement started. Now you're going to start to realize why feminism was a thing, because their men never liked them. Their men never liked them. They come from societies and cultures where their men never liked them. They only liked the vagina. And we finally picked up the fucking behavior. And what happens when black people pick shit up? It multiplies. That's when they want to put the lens on a shit. Because we take shit to the next level. You dig what I'm saying? You feel me? Religion did this to us. Oppression did this to us. All of the shit that we have been subjugated under has done this shit to us. This is why we think like this. All these so-called constructs that we think are making these types of men are creating homosexual men who like vagina. We don't even know the shit. We don't even get the shit. You feel me? Look at your religion books, bro. A lot of those dudes, a lot of those prominent men were homosexuals who like vagina. You feel me? Who like vagina. So much, never mind, I'm going to get into that. That's a different conversation. But we have been, and then when we integrated, the icing on the cake was when we integrated into this culture, because we started to act like those men. We didn't even know it. We started to act just like those men. So when we say that, it's like, yeah, we infusing this. So we got to start pointing the fingers too. Look at the civil rights movement. This is all the shit. You create this pacifism and shit. You create these men like this. Their men are like that. Their men are like that. Their men have been like that. You feel me? Their men have been like that. Now we have become like their men. Because we're taught by their men. We're coached by their men. We're led by their men. All of their, like, we view their men in a certain light and we try to embody it. And then we don't understand what the fuck we're embodying. Homosexual behavior. We're internalizing being homosexual men who like vagina. And we don't know that shit, because that's all their men were. They did not like their women. They never liked their women. Never. Never. Why do you think they left their women to go colonize the world and rape the other women of the world? They don't even like their own women. You feel me? But now we have accepted their culture. We have accepted everything about them. And we have become them. And now we operate from that perspective. You feel me? So when you talk about that oppressive man, when you talk about that straight man, understand that you need to be acknowledging who it is and what it is. The quote unquote cis man that you're talking about is a homosexual man who likes vagina. That's the man that you're talking about. It's not the straight man. So stop with the bullshit semantics and take the narrative off and really address who you're talking about. You feel me? Sad to say, some of my brothers, some of y'all ain't straight. It's cool. It's cool. Just come to terms with it, please. Because, you know, you just like vagina, but you love niggas. You feel me? Pay attention. And you don't have to, like, it's hard to acknowledge sometimes. I know. I get it. Because, you feel me? You don't realize how your subconscious mind works. Like, you don't realize how much you don't like women, but you just want to fuck them. You feel me? It be a lot of y'all, oh, the black woman is God, the black woman is this, I see it all. I see it all the time. All y'all dudes is homosexual men who like vagina. Feel me? That's why the black woman is God when she's oiled up, dark skin, fro, nice body and shit like that. Because she ain't God when she's normally walking around with the mortals. Feel me? Don't nobody want to talk about that shit. You just want to fuck. You just want to fuck. You want to fuck and then always be around dudes. Fuck women and always be around dudes. Like, yo, learn. Like, y'all need to be able to like women again. That's the only thing that absolves, you know, of being homosexual. You have to like women. You feel what I'm saying? They get to speak around you. They're not undermined and shit. Like, yo, that's like low key, bro. Like, I'm telling you, y'all be thinking motherfuckers be thinking I'm a hoe when I'm really not. I just like women. So women like me too, and they be in my space. And I like women so much too that when I know that I'm different from them, I don't even cross that line and set them up. Because I know, hey, I can milk this shit right now to bust it down because I'm different. No, I don't. I love and respect women that much too. Like, we need to get to that. Otherwise, as long as we continue like we're just gonna be homosexual men that don't know it. Like, seriously, like, I'm wrapping it up. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. But like, for real. Next time, just really consider that shit. That's just like, yo, think about the shit that you've done in your life. Think about the friends that you've been with. You feel me? If vagina has been your only thing. And my sisters, same shit. You feel me? Start to pay attention to the men that you like. Do you like homosexual men who only like vagina? That's why you only get women that's why you only fuck with men who like sex and leave you alone. And you can't get any other connection out of him. He doesn't stimulate me mentally. I'm just not here, but the sex is great. Cause you're dealing with a homosexual man who only likes vagina. You feel me? And that keeps the energy in your space. That keeps the energy in your space. And until you acknowledge that, and you start to see, you got to realize that there's more to it. So you can't blame these niggas ain't shit. You're right. These niggas ain't shit. But you got to put that in context. The homosexual men who only like vagina ain't shit. Those are the ones fucking you over. Because they don't like y'all. They don't have a reason to. I know this shit gets crazy because now my brother's got to go back and reevaluate. Damn. Yeah, that's what you've been programmed for. See, the thing about being programmed is that you can deny something all day long, but you can't deny the programming. The input and the output function is there. It's going to happen. You dig what I'm saying? You may consciously try to tell yourself, yo, I'm not gay. I'm not this. And you may very well believe that 100% solely because you have not crossed the act of fucking another man. However, you have been bred and programmed to be a homosexual. You just happen to be the homosexual who likes vagina rather than the homosexual who doesn't. But both of those homosexuals do not like women. You feel me? So it's that has to be dealt with. It's that has to be dealt with. That has to be understood. That has to be, put into context and shit. And this was supposed to be an outro and it went way too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. My sisters and shit, I'm not mad at you. I'm not knocking you for saying that the straight men are the oppressors of the community. But now I want you to understand what that shit really means and who you're really talking about. All right. At this point, now I can let the shit fly because I've explained why it don't apply. You feel what I'm saying? Because it can't just be a general thing. I can let the shit fly now, especially when you say it and I know that you know what I'm talking about now. This shit really don't apply to me. But then when you start to, your masculinity's frail, your masculinity's toxic, no, you're attacking the wrong shit. You're talking about the wrong shit. So of course I'm going to say, well, here you go, you're triggered, you're hurt. No, I'm not triggered, but I need you to be clear. I need you to be clear on what you're really talking about. You're speaking on something you have not even defined yet. So that makes it a generalization. If I ask you, what type of men are you talking about? Straight men. Straight black men. What are they doing? Well, okay, now let's put that shit in context so you know exactly what you're talking about. Because are you talking about the real heterosexual man who actually likes women and likes vagina too? But are you talking about the heterosexual man? Or are you talking about the homosexual man who only likes vagina? You feel me? Because now those are two totally different things. Those are two totally different essences and two totally different beings. You feel what I'm saying? So do y'all really think about that shit? Or is it just all straight men? Because that's what, y'all keep being pumped into. It's straight men. It's straight black men. It's straight black. No, it's not. It's not. And now you'll be able to see the differentiation between the two. The shit's going to be like clear as day. Watch. Clear as day. You're going to see the shit and be like, oh, shit. Bruh. That was you feel me? Now you're going to start to look back over past relationships. My brothers too. You're going to start to look at shit differently. You're going to start to realize what conditioning we've had. You feel me? This is So Frail Conversations. I want to direct this to the sisters because they're the ones that's been talking about the cis men and shit. And, but for us, it's like, we really got to look at that. You dig what I'm saying? We really got to look at that and stop, and acknowledge it. That's the only thing that was able to bring it to light. I'm like, this is what they made us to be, bro. This was what they made us to be. You dig what I'm saying? So now let's break that shit. You feel me? Like people talk about the agenda just being, you know what I'm saying? They're like, the agenda is putting the imagery up there to make us homosexual from the perspective of not liking women and then trying to embody women. They think that that's the agenda. Nah, nigga, the bigger agenda is the one you not even paying attention to. The one where you watch the music video, the one that's in the Behold the Pale Horse, the one where you're watching music videos every single day of ass shaking and everything like that so you can get a value of a body, so you can start to look at the body and still be homosexual, but you're seeing all of the men that you want to be in the background with women dancing and shaking their ass, fucking all of these women, and over the music they're telling you, I don't love these bitches, fuck these hoes, these shit. Like, Do you see? Yes, there is an agenda, but we want to talk about the wrong agenda, the wrong part of the agenda. Fuck with the agenda that applies to you. Right? Fuck with the agenda that applies to you. So, with that being said, like I said, this has gone on long enough. So, be sure to follow me on Instagram, _sing_. Be sure to visit my website, iamjustsing.com. And everything that is there can be found there and shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just ready to wrap this up because this has gone too long. But yeah, as always, go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And in regards to this, raising kids, growing up, I'm not saying, let them co-ed and shit, but keep in mind what co-ed means. It means co-education. So as opposed to keeping people away from shit, just teach them to understand it. Because we wonder why our kids experiment so early because they don't know. Experiments is trying to find results and shit and everything like that. But the point of all of this was, start to pay attention to the groundworks and the shit that starts from the jump. And, my brothers, reevaluate shit. My sisters, reevaluate shit. Everybody reevaluate shit. But at the same time, from this point forward, stop saying that it's straight men. Stop saying that straight black men are the oppressors of the black community, because we're not. We're not the oppressors. It's the homosexual man who is the oppressor. Specifically, the homosexual man who only likes vagina. That motherfucker is evil. That motherfucker is on some other shit. And I'm not talking from the biblical perspective of the motherfucker going to hell. That motherfucker is on some other shit because they don't like y'all, but they want the vagina. This is where you get raped. This is where you get all of these other things from. It's from that motherfucker. It's from that motherfucker. And I should do another podcast on that motherfucker right there. But I think this is enough. This is enough to get with you. So go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.